Hello, and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is the League Two playoff final as Crawley take on Crewe at Wembley Stadium for a chance to play in the third tier of English football next season. For Crawley, they were predicted to finish bottom of the table this season, but manager Scott Lindsay has worked miracles. This campaign has gotten Crawley one game away from League One. They walked all over MK Dons in their playoff semi-final with a 3-0 home win in the first leg, and then battered the MK Dons side in the second by 5-1 away from home. They have only tasted defeat twice in their last 14 matches. For Crewe, they have found themselves in the final despite currently going through some very poor form. Just 2 wins from their last 10, but they were able to turn it around in the playoff semi-final as they were 2 down after the first leg at home to Doncaster, but somehow in the second leg against an informed Doncaster side, they got it back to 2-2 and won on penalties. Crewe did do the league double over Crawley this season with a 4-2 away win in mid-October and then a 1-0 home win at the start of February. So, for this massive occasion for both Crawley and Crewe, who will be able to take their step into League One for next season. It's a huge game for both. For Crawley, it is their first ever trip to Wembley Stadium in their 128-year history. And for Crewe, they're looking to get back to League One for the first time since 2022. They weren't there too long ago. Their first season back in this division last season was quite disappointing. They finished in 13th place, but now this season they were able to get themselves up into the playoff positions under manager Lee Bell, who was in the Crewe squad as a player the last time they were promoted via the playoffs. It was in League Two. It was back in 2012 and they beat Cheltenham 2-0. But now here he is as manager, took charge of the team in the December of 2023. And it is a huge moment for Lee Bell, the manager, and for both sides, of course, as both sets of players walk out onto the hallowed turf of Wembley Stadium in this League Two playoff final, where there is a place in League One for one of these two sides. Lee Bell took over in 2022, not 2023. Do apologise about that, but yeah, he's been in charge now for quite some time, and you know it's vital that Crewe try and get themselves back into League One. But for Crawley, we commentated on their second leg against MK Dons where they won by 5-1, and they were absolutely unbelievable. Of course, it's a different occasion altogether today. You know, it's at a neutral ground and it's a bigger pitch. It's Wembley, the occasion, and all of that. So, we might get a different Crawley side, but they've got to be able to take confidence from that semi-final, winning 8-1 on aggregate. I think it was the biggest ever deficit in a playoff semi-final by winning by 7 goals. But for Crewe, their semi-final win was equally as impressive because Doncaster were the team in form. They were on a huge run to get themselves into the playoffs. Doncaster, they ended up finishing 5th in the table, a place ahead of Crewe, who even though they finished on the same points. But to be 2-0 down and having to go to Doncaster away with the form they were in, to turn it around as quickly as they did, because Crewe turned that game around in 16 minutes. Demetriou, the captain, scored in the 6th minute, and then a Maxwell own goal in the 16th had it level at 2-2. So that was a really impressive turnaround from Crewe, who are not in good form at the moment. But we'll go through both sets of starting 11s now. We'll start with Crawley Town, as they've made just one change from that playoff semi-final second leg against MK Dons, and it is Corey Adai to remain in goal. Back three of Will Wright, captain Dion Conroy, and left centre half on loan from Chesterfield, and that is Lawrence Maguire. And here is the one change. It is at right wing back. Kellen Gordon comes in for the injured Forster, who was brought off in the first half of that second leg. At left wing back will be Jeremy Kelly, brought in from America in the January transfer window. And two central midfielders, the two players that pulled them through that semi-final tie. They were absolutely unbelievable. On the right centre of midfield, it's going to be Jay Williams, who scored twice against MK Dons, one in the first leg and one in the second leg in the playoff semi-final. Alongside him will be Liam Kelly, who was brought in from Rochdale in the summer, relegated with Rochdale last season, but he could be promoted with Crawley this time around. And then three up front on the right is going to be Clady Lolos, who was brought in from Oxford City in the summer. He missed out on promotion with Oxford last season in the National League South after a defeat in the final to St Albans. On the left is going to be Adam Campbell, who was also brought in from the National League, but from Gateshead, and through the middle making his 50th appearance for the club. And that is Danilo Orsi, brought in the summer from Grimsby. He scored a hat-trick in that semi-final second leg away at MK Dons. They will need him firing once again if they want a good chance to get promoted today into League One. For Crewe, they are unchanged from that starting 11 that played against Doncaster in the second leg, and it is Max Striek in goal, who was brought in April as an emergency loan goalkeeper from Wickham, and a back four of Lewis Billington, Ed Turns on loan from Brighton, Mickey Dimitriou, who joined from Newport in the summer. At left back is Rio Adebisi, and then two other midfielders, number 8, Connor Thomas, and number 11, Joel Tabiner. And three behind the striker on the right is going to be Shiloh Tracy. On the left is Chris Long. Through the middle will be Aaron Rowe on loan from Huddersfield. And through the middle, their main goal scorer this season, and that is Elliot Nevitt. He's got 18 goals this season in all competitions. Not scored any braces, so he's only scored one in each game he's scored in. But he has been really key for Crewe this season to get them into the playoff positions. And as you can see below, both starting 11s are the two benches. And I'm really looking forward to this one. You know, very contrasting form for both. Crawley have come into this off the back of 3 wins in a row, just 2 defeats in their last 14. And for Crewe, they have won just 2 of their last 10. And they've not scored in 6 of their last 10 games, which has got to be a worry. It has to be a worry for Lee Bell, the Crewe manager, former Crewe player. The most appearances he made at club level when he was a player, Lee Bell, was for Crewe. He came through their academy stages as a coach before obviously now taking on as the first team manager back in December 2022. But what a moment it is for both of these sides. A chance to be playing in the third tier of English football. For Crawley, they only got into the Football League back in 2011. So it's been a really, slow rise up into the Football League since they were founded in 1896. But now they've got a chance to get back into the third tier. They haven't been in League One for a while. Crawley Town, their last season in the third tier was in the 2014-15 season when they were relegated in 22nd place. They have now spent the last 9 seasons here in League Two. And there's a chance for them to finally get back into the League One. This is their first ever playoff campaign since they have been back in League Two for all those seasons. And for Crewe, they were relegated bottom the last time they were in League One in 2022. Like I say, they had a bit of a poor season in their first season back in League Two, finishing 13th last time around. But now in 6th, they're not in great form, but it's a one-off playoff game. And as long as your mindset's right and you can find confidence from somewhere, then this can be anyone's game. We are also commentating later today, right after this game, as Manchester City take on West Ham to try and win the Premier League for a 4th time in a row. So plenty of stuff going on the channel today. But first of all, we have got Crawley taking on Crewe in the League Two playoff final here at Wembley. It's a huge occasion for both in very different ways, finding their way into the playoff final. Crawley absolutely demolishing MK Dons, and Crewe finding real character to get beyond Doncaster after being 2 behind from the first leg. But it'll be Crawley to kick us off, kicking left to right. Crewe right to left here at Wembley as we are underway, and the ball's out to the far side for Crewe with Jeremy Kelly, the left wing back, midway inside the Crewe half, wanting to keep the ball and trying to find Lawrence Maguire. Just goes behind him, but he'll be able to keep possession. Goes into his own half here to the captain, Dion Conroy, the 28-year-old. Had disappointment himself in League Two playoffs. Conroy, as the Crawley goalkeeper Adai, has to kick it down the right-hand side, straight out of touch for a Crewe throw in there. Just forced a little bit wide, the goalkeeper, and just had to hurry the ball away as quickly as possible, the Jamaican. who's been up there as one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season. Corey Adai, formerly of the Arsenal Academy. As it's Crewe's first few touches on the ball. It's Adebisi down the line, header away by Liam Kelly, straight back to Adebisi, who lifts it down the left-hand side of his right foot, looking for Nevitt. Header won there by Conroy, and there'll be another throw in here for Crewe Alexandra, as it'll be taken again by their left back of Rio Adebisi, who came through the academy, joined at age 12, now he's at the age of 23. And something I picked up in this Crewe side, they've got a lot of academy graduates, which is really good to see, as Adebisi has the ball returned to him from the throw-in. As Crewe getting towards the final third here, with their number 11 of Joel Tabiner, who's been forced to go back into his own half here, being chased down there by Lolos of Crawley. And it's Crewe on the ball with their goalkeeper, just on the edge of the 18-yard box of Max Striek. Like I say, brought in on loan on an emergency loan from Wickham in April. Did reach the EFL Trophy final with Wickham and played the semi-final against Bradford, but was dropped to the bench for the final at Wembley here. As Crewe go long, it goes over the head of Nevitt and Conroy, and into the gloves of Adai, who quickly throws out to the left-hand side here for Crawley, with Jeremy Kelly finding his partner, Liam Kelly. Mentioned it in the semi-final second leg, but Liam Kelly was at Feyenoord for 2 years in the Netherlands, making just 2 appearances for them. Spent 2 seasons on loan at Oxford during his contracted time at Feyenoord. As he goes down the left-hand side, it's Jeremy Kelly, inside to Campbell. Back towards Liam Kelly, who will take over now, the Irish central midfielder. It's now Jay Williams in the centre circle, just about keeping it away from the press of Rowe. It's now Maguire inside there to Jeremy Kelly, then out wide left by Liam Kelly towards Campbell. Can't quite be kept in, just a little bit overhit there. And it's a throw-in for Crewe on their far side. 2.5 minutes in, both sides have had time on the ball, but nothing created from either of the two teams so far. As, in fairness, doesn't look like either of the two teams are necessarily looking panicked at all or nervous. They all seem rather settled. In fairness, as it's a Crawley clearance down the left-hand side, where it'll be seen out by the Crewe right back of Lewis Billington, another player who came through the Crewe academy. He's now at the age of 20. And for a lot of the season, Crewe was playing in a back three, and Lewis Billington can play on the right side of a three, but towards the end of the season, they've changed it up to this 4-2-3-1 to try and find some form, which they've been struggling to find come the end of the season. They were rather fortunate to find themselves in the playoffs. They were almost out of it on the final day when they were losing 1-0 away at Colchester, but a late 92nd minute goal from their main man, Elliot Nevitt, got them back into the playoff positions, as it's Jay Williams to lose it in his own half for Crawley, and it's now long for Crewe, looking out towards the right-hand side, but just going backwards here to the halfway line to Turns. The Welsh centre-half on loan from Brighton, spent the first half of the season on loan in League One with Leyton Orient, after being promoted with them last season from League Two. As Adebisi goes long, the left-back, headed down there by Conroy for Crawley, and it does find Jay Williams midway inside the Crawley half, and it's now the number 26 on the ball, returning it to the edge of the box here to Dion Conroy for Crawley Town. And Dion Conroy goes down the right-hand side here to Lolos, who's still in the Crawley half here, running away from Aaron Rowan, playing out to the left centre half of Maguire. It's now with Corey Adai, the goalkeeper, who's in an all-blue kit today for Crawley Town. It's on the far side with Jeremy Kelly, the left wing back for Crawley, driving inside into a more central area up towards the halfway line. It's going back here to keep possession with Liam Kelly. It's now Will Wright, the right centre back for Crawley, brought in the summer from Gillingham, who he scored against in his last League Two goal on Boxing Day. Now Kellen Gordon, who was the only change from that League Two semi-final playoff second leg, as he's in for Harry Forster, who was injured in that second leg for Crawley. So Kellen Gordon was brought in. Just under 5 minutes in, still no shots on goal yet from either of the two teams. Rather cagey affair so far, but that's what you'd expect in the playoff final with so much riding on it. Jay Williams lifts it down the left-hand side, but it's cut out by Turns for Crewe, but then he gives it away looking for a pass in the midfield. Danilo Orsi, the Crawley striker, gives it away. I think it's his first few touches of the ball, in fairness, the striker. He's given it away, but they've won it back on halfway with Liam Kelly, returning it all the way back to the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box there, not wanting to lose possession. But yeah, just a bit scrappy so far. No team really finding a real pattern of play at the moment. As Adai, the goalkeeper for Crawley, sends a big kick forward down towards the Crawley left-hand side, where a header in the air by Turns will Drop here to Jeremy Kelly for Crawley. It's now Adam Campbell across to the right here to Lolos in a central area, facing away from goal, and he's been tackled and it's been brought away, and it's now Aaron Rowe for Crewe. Tackled really well by Jay Williams, but drops here to number 8, Connor Thomas, sends it down the left-hand side, and Adebisi will beat Gordon to it. And Crewe are on the ball midway side the Crawley half on this near side, but Adebisi being forced to go back here to Mickey Dimitri, the number 5, wearing that captain's armband tonight as he switched out to the right wing here towards Tracy. His touch is away from him, but he can chase it down and he beats Kelly to it, and he skips beyond him. Here is Tracy on the right wing position, crosses it into the near post, and it's an easy catch in the end there for Corey Adai. First real moment on the ball for Shiloh Tracy, the Crewe right winger brought in from Cambridge in the summer. Just scored the 3 goals in the League 2 this season, his last against Morecambe in the start of March. But has started all 3 of the playoff games, but the cross there couldn't quite find anyone in red for Crewe. But it's the first sighting towards goal for either of the 2 teams, really. Is Jeremy Kelly, the left wing back, turned away from Billington, pulled back by him, so it'll be a free kick for Crawley, which they will take quickly, and they'll go to the left centre half of Lawrence Maguire. It's now Liam Kelly into Lawrence Maguire. Not really being pressed at the moment as he goes down the line to Jeremy Kelly, inside to Campbell. Then back into Jeremy Kelly. It's now Lawrence Maguire, finding the number 26 in the midfield, and that's Jay Williams, who was brought in from Brackley in the summer. Did sign for Brackley from Banbury in the same summer, but 2 weeks later, Crawley came knocking and they were able to agree a fee, so he was only a Brackley player for 2 weeks before moving to League 2 as the goalkeeper Adai. Big switch out to the left, it's a brilliant ball as well. Jeremy Kelly controls it and brings it inside here with a pass to Adam Campbell, forward to Orsi, returns it to Campbell once again, and out to the right to Gordon, short pass cut out by Adebisi, who will drive forward with the ball for Crewe. Down the left-hand side, it'll be given chase to here by Chris Long, but he won't beat Jay Williams to it, and it'll be back to the goalkeeper of Adai, who gets gone with the ball, clearing it forward, can't be controlled by Lolos, lifted up for Crewe, up towards their striker of Nevitt. Free headed over Conroy. Nevitt was actually never near the ball really, coming back from an offside position. And it's Crawley once again in possession of the ball. And they have played with a back 3 all season, Crawley Town. As we just mentioned before, Crewe had changed their system from a 3 to a 4, but Crawley have stuck with the 3 at the back all season, and obviously it's worked wonders for them under Scott Lindsay. As on the halfway line, it's Liam Kelly driving away from Aaron Rowe. And he just lays it off to the right centre-back of right. Now to his near side to Gordon. Back inside to Liam Kelly. Try to slip it through for Gordon. Good interception by Adebisi, who's had a very strong start to the game for Crewe at left-back. And it's now with Connor Thomas. Going across the right-back position here to Billington. He'll be closed down by Jeremy Kelly. He'll play a ball down the right channel up towards Nevitt, who keeps it away from Conroy at the moment. And then tripped by the captain. And it'll be a free kick for Crewe. Good striker play there by Elliot Nevitt, who was brought in for an undisclosed fee in the January of 2023 from Tranmere. Came through at non-league. He kind of entered the Football League quite, not late per se, but he's 27 now and he was signed at Tranmere in the July of 2021. So definitely had to wait for his moment to arrive on the scene in the Football League. He's never scored in the playoffs in League 2. Elliot Nevitt, after scoring just the 6 goals last season, and they all came for Tranmere. Didn't actually score for Crewe in the 21 appearances he made last season when he joined them in January. As a ball forward for Crewe has not hit anyone in a red shirt in the box, and it'll be a Crawley goal kick straight through there. Couldn't quite find Elliot Nevitt. He was 6 foot, so he can be used as a target man if they need to try and just get the ball long and high. But very interesting story with Max Strick, the Crewe goalkeeper, brought in on an emergency loan from Wickham because both goalkeepers were injured for Crewe, Tom Booth and Harvey Davies. They'd bring in a very experienced goalkeeper of Kieran Westwood, the Irish international, but he also got injured as well. So they were really desperate for a goalkeeper. Just after the halfway line, going into the Crewe half, there's been a bit of a heavy challenge there by Connor Thomas on Liam Kelly, who's definitely felt that one. There is VAR, and it's Michael Salisbury and Konstantin Hatzidakis. Ooh, it is a little bit strong. Depends if the studs are showing. Let's have a look. Got in there, got the ball. Nah, nothing wrong with that for me. I wouldn't even necessarily say that was over the top. I wouldn't say the studs were showing. That definitely won't be anything more than a free kick. Of course, VAR would check it just in case. As today's referee is Ben Toner, who is refereed all the way through Championship, League One, League Two. Bit of a mix of all three of those divisions. Not really been refereeing in one in particular. He's kind of been given a mix of games through those three divisions. But it's a chance for Crawley to just put this ball in towards the 18-yard box. It's gone a bit long and no one in the white shirts there for Crawley, and it can be dealt with here by Demetriou. He plays a right-footed pass down the right-hand side towards Tracy. Gets away from Liam Kelly. And Shiloh Tracy can run forward into the Crawley half here. Conroy's trying to get across. Tracy tries to play a ball forward, but it's come off Jeremy Kelly. And it'd be a throw-in for Crewe. Decent run in there by Shiloh Tracy. Skipping beyond Liam Kelly. And it's going to be a Crewe throw-in on the far side. About midway inside the Crawley half. As again, we've not really had any big clear-cut chances so far, as we're just about 12 minutes in. Shiloh Tracy losing out to Jeremy Kelly, but Jeremy Kelly then tackled by Lewis Billington. And it'll be a throw-in for Crawley, who have dominated the possession early on, and you would expect that under Scott Lindsay. Very possession-based football, but there's patterns to it. It's quite nice to watch on the eye, the way they play their football. That's with the goalkeeper on the edge of the box of Corey Adai. Put the ball forward to Jay Williams. Being closed down by Aaron Rowe here, Williams, and he's almost lost out, but he's been fouled there. Just a few too many nibbles by Aaron Rowe. But just needs to be careful, Jay Williams, that he doesn't hold on to the ball for too long. The 23-year-old scored in the first and second leg in the semi-final of the playoffs against MK Dons. As Adai, the goalkeeper, big kick forward out towards the left-hand side. Looks like it's going to be a header won by Billington for Crewe. But straight to the halfway line to Liam Kelly for Crawley. It's, again, very cagey. Of course, Crawley with lots of the ball, but not really doing a lot with it so far. Crewe have set up quite strong defensively, not giving away too many spaces. Will Wright plays the ball down the channel, looking for low loss. Last touch off the Greek forward, and it'll be a throw-in the left-back position for Crewe. As Crewe did the league double this season over Crawley, beat them away from home 4-2, and then beat them at home 1-0. Adebisi, the left-back, the one who's got the throw-in, he scored the only goal in that game, and that put Crewe into the top three when they beat Crawley, but they didn't really stay there for that long. As it's now in the midfield with Joel Taberner to the right back, Billington forward to Tracy. Just can't quite control it, slips as well, and it runs through to the Crawley captain of Dion Conroy. And it's Crawley back in possession, in between the lines here to find Danilo Orsi. Touch isn't great, and it's taken off him. It's now with Aaron Rowe. Forward to Thomas, runs into traffic but beats it and tries to play it out to the left, but it comes off the referee. And its play stops. It'll be a drop ball in the centre circle. The referee apologetic because there may have been a slight opening there for Crewe. Out to this near side. It's well won back. And as Connors and Thomas tried to play it, the referee just could not get out of the way there, unfortunately. Adebisi down the left-hand side, great ball. Demetriou from left centre-back is in the left wing, and he crosses the ball in, but it's an easy catch for Adai, who quickly throws it out to Jeremy Kelly at left wing-back. And Crawley will look to try and attack here because Demetriou's gone all the way forward in left wing. But Jeremy Kelly turns back and plays it into the midfield to Jay Williams. And Crewe can set up again with Demetriou back in his normal position. Will Wright to the right wing back of Gordon in the final third. He has space to work the cross. It's a good swinging cross into the far post. It's volleyed into the air. Still alive in the box for Crawley. Low loss trying to get the ball down if he can. It drops to Liam Kelly, who strikes it, and it's well over the crossbar. But we have had a shot in the playoff final. It's the first one of the day, just under 15 minutes in. Liam Kelly right on the edge of the box, just not quite catching it as he would have liked to have there. Liam Kelly, who was absolutely immense in that second leg against MK Dons away from home. Scored in the first leg, but we commentated on the second, and he just made everything tick for Crawley. And they're the ones who have the first goal. Have the first shot on goal in the game. But in terms of head-to-head, it's definitely Crewe who are on top at the moment. Crawley haven't won against Crewe in their last 7. The last time they beat them was a 3-0 win back in November 2018. And Crewe have won 9 of the last 11 against Crawley. The biggest win was 6-1 in March 2019. That will get a scoreline like that today as Taberner for Crewe going on a marauding run, tripped by Williams, and it'll be a free kick for Crawley just towards the left-hand side, just in front of the halfway line. And even though obviously Crawley are, having a lot of the possession early on, that doesn't mean Crewe is struggling. They're pretty sound in their shape, sitting back, and when they do get the ball eventually, they're getting forward quite nicely. Nothing's rushed, nothing looks nervy at the moment. Obviously, it's not quite working, but we've had 2 crosses in already from Crewe, one from Dimitri, the centre-back, and then we had one from the right-hand side by Shiloh Tracy as well, which just went straight towards the goalkeeper. But again, a chance here for Crewe just to launch this ball in towards the 18-yard box. It's a high line from the Crawley side here. It's going to be a left-footed cross in by Taberner, but no one's there chasing it for Crewe. That is an awful free kick, and it's gone straight out of play for a goal kick. Not his best delivery there by Joel Taberner, someone who came through the academy now just at the age of 20 years old. Signed a 3-year contract in September of last year. Joel Taberner has started both of the playoff games in the semi-finals, but was subbed off in both as well. There's Crawley with their goalkeeper in the 18-yard box, Corey Adai. Plays it forward here to Dion Conroy. Midway inside his own half here, looking out to the left-hand side. He's going to play a lifted ball towards Jeremy Kelly. In behind Billington, it will work. It's a great pass. And it'll be Lawrence Maguire, in fact, to keep it in. And he plays it back here to Campbell. And lays it off to Jeremy Kelly. It's now Liam Kelly. A couple of 1-2s with the 2 Kellys linking up together. It's now Lawrence Maguire. Through towards Campbell. Lays it off for Liam Kelly. Touches it to Orsi. Back through for Liam Kelly. What football this is. Liam Kelly with the shots. And it's just saved by Striuk. Down low to his left. Kept a hold of it, the Polish goalkeeper. But that's exactly what Crawley Town can do. When they get playing their football, it's 2-touch football. And Crewe just could not quite nick the ball off them. Liam Kelly with the eventual shot. Just didn't quite catch it. An easy, comfortable save in the end for Max Striuk. But it's very positive signs for Crawley. As Crewe go long. And on the seconds, they can't quite keep it. One back there in the end by Will Wright. Callan Gordon down the right-hand side. Danilo also will chase him, but Dimitri beats him to it and finds Adebisi. Short pass towards Connor Thomas, who is strong in the tackle on Gordon, and the loose ball drops to Aaron Rowe. Can't quite find the runner Tracy. Looked to go inside, but didn't quite reach the pass, and Aaron Rowe goes in late with the slide tackle, and it'll be a yellow card. Aaron Rowe, the Huddersfield loanee, claiming claiming he got the ball. Let's have a look here. Lawrence Maguire bringing it out. Yeah, he got nowhere near the ball. It's an easy yellow card. The ball was already gone. Rose slid in. A little bit high. Nothing dangerous. Nothing red card worthy. But, just needs to be careful, Aaron Rowe. Bit of a forward tackle, that. Do you have a favourite in this match that you'd like to win? No, not really. I think for the story, I think Crawley would be pretty cool under Scott Lindsay, going from pretty much guaranteed relegation favourites to in the playoff final and being the team in form coming into the final. So I think in terms of a story for Scott Lindsay, that would be quite cool. But for Crewe, under Lee Bell, who came through the club, he is Crewe through and through. It'd be really nice for him to get a promotion with a team he used to play for. Like I say, the last time Crewe were promoted, Lee Bell, their manager, was in the squad as a player when they beat Cheltenham back in 2012. But for Crawley, as a club, first ever time at Wembley. It's a fantastic story. As a ball down the Crawley right side has been headed away by Adebisi. Just for a throw in here for Crawley, who are right in towards the final third here. So the Will Wright long throw will definitely enter the 18-yard box. That is for sure. It's just who wins the first ball and who can get on the seconds. But it will be Will Wright to throw this one in. As the throw-in goes in to the box. Header won there by Adebisi, and there's a foul there anyway on a Crewe player by Jay Williams for Crawley. So it'll be a free kick in the 18-yard box for Crewe. It's still 0-0 here after 20 minutes. There is the Crawley owner, Preston Johnson. He actually spoke before he was interviewed, just before the game, and it does seem like he knows, what he's talking about. Which is, good, good to see. Obviously, the appointment of Scott Lindsay was huge, and he got that right. And now they're reaping the rewards of getting a really solid EFL manager in. That's Crawley in their own half on this near side with low loss, spinning and playing the ball down the line. It's cut out there by Crewe, and it'll be a throw in here for Crawley. Well intercepted by Joel Tabernet. Didn't want Crawley to advance any further in towards the Crewe half there. But Crawley have only ever spent 3 seasons in League One. It was 3 seasons in a row from 2012 to 2016, where they finished 10th, 14th, and then 22nd when they were eventually relegated. That's Crawley on this near side halfway line. Can they keep the ball here with low loss? Yes, they can. He goes back to Wright, who is turning back, and he'll find the goalkeeper in the box of Corey Adai. It's definitely Crawley who have been the better side so far, it must be said. They've had a lot of the ball. They've had the only 2 shots of the game, but Crewe is still well in it. That is for sure. And they'll know that Crawley will have the ball, because that's exactly how they've been playing in these playoff games especially. But when these 2 sides have met, it has been rather close in possession, especially in the Crewe game when it was Crewe who actually had more of the ball, 52% to 48%. But when Crawley played Crewe at home, when they were beaten 4-2, it was Crawley who dominated the possession with 62% of it. But it was Crewe who came out on top and won that game. Jimbo again with the donation. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, let's celebrate their 20th Super. The 20th, that is absolutely crazy. Thank you so much for your support. It's unbelievable. I cannot thank you enough for all the donations and everything that you've been doing for the channel in the last month or so. I hope you're enjoying this live commentary of this League 2 playoff final. We'll also be commentating again on the Manchester City West Ham game later on today. Straight after this, I'll be preparing for that next commentary. As back in this game, it's up towards Danilo Orsi for Crawley. Lays it off for low loss. Campbell takes over in the centre circle. Plays it to the left here to Jeremy Kelly, who wants to bring the ball forward. He just lays it off behind him here to Liam Kelly. Then back forward to low loss. Has to go back though to Liam Kelly. And then back into their own half they go to Dion Conroy. Good defending that by Crewe. Good press to force Crawley to go backwards and not advance forward like they have on a few occasions already, as Jay Williams, ball over the top, down the right-hand side, looking for Gordon. It'll be seen out there by Adebisi. Yes, it will. Just gone out of play. Kellen Gordon wanted the corner, but just about seen out there by Adebisi and Dimitriou for Crewe, who are having to concentrate here a lot, it must be said. Apart from the back, with the right back Billington's got Jeremy Kelly in front of him, but a left-footed ball high up towards Nevitt can be flicked on, but no one's chasing after it for Crewe. Easily dealt with in the end by Lawrence Maguire. And again, Crawley straight back into the possession here. Liam Kelly, ball over the top for Adam Campbell, just slightly overhit into the 18-yard box. Not too much wrong with that pass by Liam Kelly, just slightly overhit, but the idea was certainly there, and if it'd come off, it would have been a brilliant assist, but not to be. It's Strick for Crewe. Ball out to the left, but nowhere near a player in red, and on the halfway line, it's a throw-in for Crawley, and it's definitely Crewe, the team, just struggling slightly. A lot of their long balls not quite finding any of their intended targets, as it is rather warm today in England. We are going to get a quick drinks break, 25 minutes in. It'll be around 22, 23 degrees at Wembley Stadium today. These type of matches are not common in American sports. It's very refreshing. Yeah, this is why the playoffs for me are the best thing in football. As a fan, they are awful. I was at the League 2 playoff final last season when Stockport County were beaten on penalties, and it was probably the worst experience I've had as a football fan by far. But the elation of the semi-final that we won that on penalties, and it was just the feeling. It was nothing else. It is definitely what makes English football superior, and just football as a sport makes it superior to a lot of other sports in other countries. You know, having playoff finals like this, where your whole season rides on one game. Scott Lindsay there, the Crawley manager, just giving some tactical information out whilst they have this water break. But for Crewe, like I say, body language wise, it doesn't look like they're exactly panicked, or they don't look nervous. It's just that a lot of their passes aren't quite coming off yet. You know, body language wise, it looks okay. But they can't let Crawley get too much of a foothold in this game, because Crewe still haven't had a shot yet, and they need to start doing some kind of threatening, something that's threatening towards the Crawley goal, put them under some kind of pressure. So we're going to get back underway in a couple of seconds' time here, as both teams have had a water break. We're still goalless at Wembley, 0-0. But it's Crawley on top, that is for sure. That's just incredible for Crawley, that second leg win where they've won 5-1 against MK Dons, because that was their biggest win of the season. And what a time to do it. Of course, they didn't have to win by 5-1. They could have easily won by 3-1, and they still would have been through to the final very, very, very calmly. Like, they didn't need to win as much as they did, but that's just the mood they were in. They just didn't want to stop scoring, and fair play to them. It was a historic playoff semi-final victory with an 8-1. With an 8-1 aggregate scoreline in the end. Could you imagine the Lakers getting relegated? It gives a different vibe throughout the season, especially. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's always that's what makes teams at all ends of the table make sure that they are playing to their highest level, because they know what can be gained through promotion, like today, and they know what can be lost through relegation. It just brings a whole different competitive dynamic. As we are back underway here at Wembley, and it's with the Crawley goalkeeper of Corey Adai playing it to the right side of the back three here, and it's Dion Conroy who's come out wide for the ball and then just returns it to Adai, who will have plenty of time on the ball here. Corey Adai just bringing it outside of the 18-yard box here, still not being pressed by Crewe forward. Goes to the left here to Lawrence Maguire. Down the line to Jeremy Kelly, bringing the ball inside. It's a great run, and he's got beyond one Crewe player, and he plays it forward here for Campbell. Can he release it once more? No, he can't. Just fell over there, trying to release it to Liam Kelly. And Crawley can deal with it down the right-hand side here with Tracy. Shielding the ball, trying to play it forward, but stopped by Maguire. And then Liam Kelly inside to his right to Lolos, who onto his left foot, 25 yards out, he's going to let fly with the shot. Completely drags it, doesn't catch it. It's an easy save again for Max Strick. But it's another shot on target this time for Crawley. The first shot was off target by Liam Kelly. His second one was on target, and another one on target once again. Lolos should have probably played it out to the right side to Gordon, but wanted to go on his own there. It's now Crewe trying to get forward with the ball down the left, dealt with by Jay Williams. Headed forward by Adebisi, into the air it goes. Lolos wants to win it, and he will win it. Heading it down here for Liam Kelly in the central area, in the Crewe half. Slipping the ball through towards Orsi in the box again. Not the worst idea, just slightly overhit, and it couldn't quite find Orsi, who was running towards it in the box. The goalkeeper came out quickly, Strick, to make sure that ball didn't reach the Crawley number 9, the hat-trick scorer in that playoff semi-final. Second leg. Yes, of course you can update me on the Chelsea game. Don't need to ask. Do whatever you like. There's a trip there on Chris Long by Will Wright. Gives Crewe a free kick here on the left-hand side. Quite far out. I think it's about midway inside the Crawley half, so an angle and a distance for a cross, not rather a shot. Well won, though, by Chris Long, the number 7, who used his body to let the ball run through him and go past him, and then Will Wright went across him and brought him down instead of nicking the ball there. Not really been involved too much so far, Chris Long, but that was a well-won free kick here for his side as we're just over half an hour in. That's going to be a left-footed crossing here by Joel Taberner. Crawley's line just in front of the edge of the 18-yard box here. Still need to time their runs right here, Crewe, because there is VAR, so need to make sure they stay on side. It's going to be a left-footed out-swinging ball away from goal. Referee just having a word with a couple of the players there in the defensive line and the attacking line as the ball eventually goes in low. It's flicked on by Connor Thomas, but stopped by Campbell, who just kicks it out of play here for a throw-in for Crewe in the final third on this near side. Not the best of deliveries, really, by Taberner. He's put two pretty poor crosses in now. The Crawley number 11. Looks like it's going to be a long throw in here by Mickey Dimitriou, who launches it into the box towards the edge of the 6-yard box where the head's been won by Lawrence Maguire. Headed forward by Aaron Rowe. Chested by Connor Thomas and a flick towards goal, but it's actually gone out wide to the left instead here for Crewe, where Ed turns, finds his centre-back partner Dimitri, who crosses into the box, header away there by Dion Conroy. And it's going to be a throw-in on the far side this time for Crewe, Alexandra. I'm not familiar with these teams. Why is Crawley having a back three and Crewe back four? Well, interestingly, we mentioned it earlier on that Crawley have played a back three all season. It's just the way they like to play. And for Crewe, they were in a back three, but I think they've gone to a back four just to be a bit more solidified as a defensive unit, having four along the back instead of just having the three with the wing backs. Just almost offers them just something different when they use four defenders. You know, they can allow, you know, an extra body in midfield, which helps them in the middle of the park, kind of cancel out the domination that Crawley like to have in the midfield. As Dimitri with another long throw in from the opposite side. Free header won by Maguire, but there's a foul in there anyway on Will Wright for Crawley, so that'll be a free kick. And still no shot on goal yet for Crewe, Alexandra, which will be a worry for Lee Bell, their manager, as we're just about to hit the 33rd minute of the game and still no shot isn't great. Zadai, the Crawley goalkeeper, big kick out to the left-hand side, headed won by Billington, and they'll be chased down by Lawrence Maguire, and no one in the Crawley shirts anywhere, in the Crewe shirts anywhere near him. So it's possession back for Crawley with their goalkeeper Zadai on the edge of the 6-yard box. Goes to the right here to Will Wright. Lifts the ball forward beyond the halfway line. It's gone beyond Dimitriou and Orsi. Through for Ed Turns. It goes back to the goalkeeper of Strick. First time clearance forward. It's a big kick. Right into the Crawley half where it can't be flicked on by Tracy. It's controlled by Jeremy Kelly in the end. To his right to Lolos. And then out wide once more here to Kellen Gordon on this near side. Running one-on-one with Adebisi. On the outside, Gordon crosses. It deflects in the 18-yard box and it drops to Taberner. Now into the path of Adebisi. And Crewe can try and get away here. He's been tackled by Jeremy Kelly. And Gordon will cross again. Free header by Turns. Not a great header though. But not a great control either by Lolos. And Crewe can clear. Up towards Chris Long, who touches it to Nevitt. And then back out to the right here to Billington. Can Crewe try and get forward and break it? Billington with a ball forward. Can't find Nevitt. Nowhere near him. Easily intercepted by Wright. It's very poor by the Crewe right back there of Billington, who just gave it away. Crawley back on the ball. In a right wing position here with their right wing back of Gordon, who's going to cross again. It's a deep one though. Over here. Goes to the opposite side where it will be kept in here by Jeremy Kelly. Maguire. Inside to the midfield here to Liam Kelly. Back out to Maguire. Forward to Jeremy Kelly. Then back into Maguire. Now Jay Williams. It's in the centre circle with Will Wright. Now to this near side to Kellen Gordon. A little bit isolated here with Adebisi. Tries to take him on, runs into him really, and his touch goes out of play. That should be a goal kick. And it will be. Not that great. He has injured himself a bit here, Gordon. But it wasn't a foul for me. Just ran into Adebisi. Yeah. Nothing in that for me. Might have just caught him, but he's definitely hurt it looks like he's hurt his right shin here, Gordon, and it's not good for Crawley because they've already lost their right wing back, their starting right wing back of Harry Forster in the second leg of the semi-final playoff. So they've had to bring in Gordon to replace him. So I'm not quite sure who would come on for him at right wing back. And there is Harry Forster on the bench for Crawley, injured for the final, which is a big shame for him. But Kellen Gordon is back to his feet, just hobbling back into his position. Hopefully for Crawley's sake he can run that one off. So goal kick taken by Strick for Crewe. Up towards Nevitt, who loses out to Williams. Ball bouncing here. Is it still alive for both? Nevitt wins the second header. Then flicked forward by Adebisi. Controlled by Aaron Rowe. Keeps the ball away from Jay Williams. He's back towards Adebisi. Finds Taberner. Nevitt. Beyond Jay Williams. Nevitt, 25 yards out. He's going to let fly with the shot. Towards the bottom left-hand corner. And it's saved by Adai. Down low to his right. To touch that behind for a corner. First shot of the game for Crewe. Comes 37 minutes in. And that was definitely finding that bottom corner. That was on target. Needed to be saved there by Adai. Not a bad attempt by Elliot Nevitt. So it's a set piece for Crewe. A corner this time, their first of the game. That's Taberner. Crosses in, near post. Alive in the box. He's put across goal and deflects away. I think Adebisi was the one who put it across goal. It's now on the right wing position with Nevitt, whose cross comes off Gordon. And it's a throw-in for Crewe. Huge chance there. Ball into the near post. It was... Well, it tried to be flicked on, but it actually bounced off the right leg of Thomas. Back to the near post. Actually came off Conroy. And then right on the angle of Adebisi's just swiped it across goal, hoping for some sort of deflection into the back of the net, but went right the way through. And in the end, it's now a Crewe throw-in. It's going to be a long one by Mickey Dimitriou, the captain. He actually throws it backwards there instead to Billington. And then back out wide to Dimitriou. Then into Thomas, who pulls it across here, cleared by Jay Williams. And the flag goes up for an offside in the build-up. Just couldn't quite hold his run there, Connor Thomas, the Crewe central midfielder. Bit of a waste when you've got a long throw-in. Just put the ball in there. There's no need to try and be clever. Definitely improved in the game the last 10 minutes. Crewe, of course, Crawley still with the possession, but Crewe winning it back, and they've done it there again with Connor Thomas. Now to Rowe, forward into a central area to Nevitt. Helps it back out wide left to Aaron Rowe. In the box, all alone, angles tight. He's got Conroy in front of him, and he's tackled by Conroy. And the ball goes for a goal kick. Conroy with the slide tackle, and he kicked it back off Rowe, and out for a Crawley ball. That was devastating on the break there with a ball out wide left by Nevitt to Rowe, who ended up being one-on-one there with Conroy, who was able to slide in and kick it off the Crewe number 21. Let's have a look. I'm not sure. Can't really tell who got the last touch on that one, but the referee, Ben Tone, has given it Crawley's way. And with just about 5 minutes to go in the first half, it's still 0-0 here at Wembley. Big kick out to the left for Crawley, headed inside towards Horsey, who tries to get it in behind for Campbell, but intercepted and headed away for Crewe. Drops in the end for Connor Thomas in the centre of the park here. Has to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Strick, who clears it first time here. Beyond the halfway line, up towards Tracy, who can't win the header, well controlled by Conroy. Brilliant work by the captain. It's now on the halfway line with the left wing back of Kelly. Back into Lawrence Maguire. Just settling down on the ball once again here, Crawley. His Crewe have just grown in the game, like we've said the last 10 minutes or so. Corey Adai, quite far out of his 18-yard box here. And again, a big kick out to the left-hand side towards Jeremy Kelly. Had a 1-0 on the edge of the box by Ed Turns for Crewe. Only as far as Lawrence Maguire, who finds Liam Kelly 1-2 here with Horsey. Turns onto his left foot, then shoots with his right! And Crawley have a lead. It's their first ever goal at Wembley, and it could be the biggest in their club's history. He scored a hat-trick in the semi-final second leg against MK Dons. He's now back on the score sheet again. And Danilo Horsey, on his 50th appearance for the club, he has scored his 25th goal of the season. And right before half-time, just as Crewe were growing into the game, Crawley have just managed to wriggle their way in front. Adai with the big kick forward out of the Crawley half. It was headed away by Turns, put back forward there by Lawrence Maguire, and then a sensational 1-2 between Liam Kelly and Danilo Horsey. Got the number 9 in the boxing space. Oh, that is brilliant. And then he turned away from Turns, and then with an outside of the boot finish from Horsey, about 12 yards out, to that bottom left corner. That is a striker full of confidence. What a goal that is. And just before the break, it's Crawley 1, Crewe 0. And that is some way to put yourselves in front in a playoff final. What a goal. What a moment for Crawley. And they lead in the playoff final in League 2. And with 2.5 minutes left of the first half, it's Crawley 1, Crewe 0. What a goal. I think Liam Kelly and Horsey there did 2 1-2s. He went from Kelly to Horsey, and then Horsey back to Kelly, and Kelly the ball through. And then what a second here. Gordon in the right wing position, crosses into the box here. It goes all the way through for Jeremy Kelly, who strikes it. It deflects wide of the far post. It's going to be a corner for Crawley on this near side as they're looking to try and double their lead here. Yeah, for that goal, I think it was Horsey to Kelly, then Kelly back through for Horsey. Just brilliant football. It's just really good to watch. Split the Crewe defence apart. And it's just a funny game, football. Just as Crewe were starting to get back into it, it's Crawley who find themselves in the lead. In front of those Crewe fans as Liam Kelly crosses in from the corner, goes to the far post where it's headed over the bar there by Lawrence Maguire, who's asking for a penalty. Never going to be given there by Bentona. Corner was played short by Will Wright, and Kelly put it in first time. Like I say, bounced its way through to the far post there. Lawrence Maguire saying he had his shirt being held there by Elliot Nevitt. But nothing given by the referee. With a minute left of the first half, Crawley lead by a goal to 0. VAR just checking it here. Was a little bit of pulling, but nothing, not enough for a penalty for me personally. That's a goal kick taken here by Max Strick. Big kick forward here. And it's headed away though by Conroy. Controlled on the halfway line by Dimitriou. Adebisi slices out towards Rowe. It does work for Crewe, don't know how, but he's got away with it. And lifted down the left-hand side here for Chris Long. Flag stays down for now, as he's just outside the box on the left-hand side. Tries to pull it across, deflects off right. That's going to be a throw-in. Flag stayed down. Crawley wanted the flag to go up. I wasn't sure. The camera angle wasn't great. I'm not exactly sure if it was on or offside, but Crewe have got a throw in it in the final third, so it's going to be thrown in long by Dimitriou, the captain. Four minutes added on here at the end of the first half. And it's their number 5, Dimitriou, throwing it into the box. It's right towards the goalkeeper who comes to collect. Really good goalkeeping there by Corey Adai. Just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Just too close to the goalkeeper there with the throw-in by Dimitriou. Nevitt got up there, in fairness. He jumped quite high the Crewe striker, but Corey Dyer's 6'4", and he's an absolute giant in the Crawley goal. And he plays the ball forward off the ground here. Adai, big kick out to the left-hand side towards Jeremy Kelly. It'll go right through here. No, it's been kept in, has it? Ball down the line by Jeremy Kelly to Campbell. Returns it to the American wing-back. I had no idea how he's kept that in on the far side. Looked like it had gone out of play, but he was able to keep it in. Crewe try and build down the left. Maguire forward towards Jeremy Kelly. Cut out by Billington, whose clearance goes up towards Rowe. Headed forward, though, by Jay Williams. Put around the corner by Liam Kelly. That's a great pass, and he gets the return from Jeremy Kelly. Now out to this near side here is low loss from afar. He's going to strike it, but just cut across it towards the top right corner in the end, and nowhere near goal. Goal kick, and again, though, Kellen Gordon wanted the ball on the near side as he had a good chance to cross it. Liam Kelly and Danilo Orsic both telling Claddy Lolos to get that ball out wide because they had numbers in the box, but decided to go for the shot, and it was a pretty poor attempt in the end. So goal kick for Striek. In a quite central area here where they want the flick on from Nevitt. It will drop in the end here for Thomas. Loses out to Lawrence Maguire as Liam Kelly gives it away. Apologising, he thought Jeremy Kelly, the wing back, was going to be a bit higher up on the pitch. But Crewe have to restart in their own half field. Number 12, Ed Turns. Been at Brighton now for 10 years. The club he's on loan from. Won League 2 last season on loan at Leyton Orient. Has a ball through down the left-hand side towards Adebisi. He's just not quite gone through to the Crewe player there by Dimitriou. And seen how to play for a goal kick by Crawley. And Danilo Orsic is the goal scorer. His first season at the club, he's already racked up 50 appearances and he's already scored 25 goals, averaging a goal every 2 games. But that goal was just absolutely sublime. The outside of the boot finish is ridiculous. It found Liam Kelly, who found Orsic, and then back through. So is Kelly to Orsic, Orsic to Kelly, Kelly back through for Orsic. And it is cheeky to finish like that. Outside of the boot, the goalkeeper, Striek, was left rooted to the spot. As we've got a minute left of this first half here. There's a header away there by Ed Turns for Crewe. Controlled by Nevitt. Played through towards Chris Long, but cleared by Will Wright for Crawley. It's now been brought down by Adam Campbell, playing it to this near side to Kellen Gordon, who can bring it forward from the halfway line. Plenty of room to run into, but not much support around him. No support at all around him here. He's been closed down by Adebisi. Wants the 1-2 with Liam Kelly. Doesn't come off because he was blocked off by Adebisi. That'll be a free kick for Crawley. So much confidence running through this Crawley team, and the way they play it is so advanced for this level, personally. And the fact they've got every player knowing exactly what their role is in this team, it just makes it look like such a well-oiled machine. It's just, I feel like whoever they put into a position, they'll know exactly what their job is and what they need to do to make the team tick. So again, free kick on this near side, about 10 yards inside the Crewe half, so it's quite far out, but again, a chance to launch it into the 18-yard box here. It's a curling cross by Wright, right into the box it goes. It's headed down here into low loss, but the whistle's been blown there. In the end, was there a foul or an offside there on Dion Conroy? He's asking the question. I'm not entirely sure. Scott Lindsay's also asking the 4th official of Lewis Smith of what exactly the problem was there. I'm not sure if it was there was maybe a pull in there or maybe an offside. I'm not entirely sure. We've played the 4 minutes here, and Striek kicks the ball into the Crawley half. The half-time whistle is blown, and Crawley Town lead by a 1-0. They started off the better of the two teams, that is for sure. They've dominated the possession, but for the previous 10 minutes before their goal, Crewe started to grow into the game. They were having shots on goal for the first time in the game. Their first shot for Crewe was in the 37th minute. But in the 41st minute, the deadlock was broken through Danilo Orsi, linking up quite brilliantly with Liam Kelly in the midfield. And in the box, 12 yards out, outside of the boot with his right foot, into the bottom left corner, left the goalkeeper rooted to the spot, didn't even try to move towards the ball. And overall, on the balance of play, it is a very much deserved Crawley lead. And at half-time here at Wembley, it is Crawley 1, Crewe 0. What a big 45 minutes that is coming up for both of these two sides when the second half gets back underway in about 15 minutes' time. But you've got to give all the credit to Crawley here. They've been unbelievable in the opening 45 minutes. As we mentioned, dominated the possession. They've had plenty of shots on goal. But, Crewe were just really growing into the game for the 10 minutes before that they conceded. And then that's just how football goes, isn't it? As soon as they start to get back into the game, they ended up conceding. But it wasn't like the build up to the main build up for the goal. I don't know if that even makes a lot of sense, but it was just a goal. It was Corey Adai, the Crawley goalkeeper. He just kicked the ball long, and it was nodded down on the edge of the box, and it eventually found its way to Liam Kelly, who then linked up magnificently with Danilo Orsi to then make the goal. The main build-up was brilliant, but the pre-build-up, you could say, was just a long ball forward. Just towards the edge of the box, and they won the knockdown. They won the seconds and scored from it. But I feel like if Crawley were to get promoted and they were able to keep Scott Lindsay as their manager and they brought in added quality in the same system, I think they could easily survive in League One. I don't think it'd be a problem at all. It's just if they can take that squad maybe to the next level, because their style of play is brilliant, But then again, at the same time as well, you could say, League One, better league teams might be able to kind of suss out and work out the Crawley style of play a bit easier. They'd find more ways to stop the way they play. It's so possession based, but it's a lot of patterns that will be repeated. So if they can, teams in League One, if they can kind of read the patterns and find ways of dealing with them, then Crawley might be found out a little bit. But in League Two, this style of play, it's just a little bit too advanced for me. It's really good to see. As of course we are also commentating on the Manchester City West Ham game at 4 o'clock. And then next week we are also commentating on the Europa League finals. Atalanta faced Bayer Leverkusen, who finished their Bundesliga season yesterday unbeaten. And we're getting reports here. Don't know how true they are. Of course, it could be absolute lies. But apparently West Ham have had a bug going around the camp, leading to a few late checks ahead of the big game against Manchester City. So we'll have to see if any of the big players for West Ham are having to miss the game due to a sickness bug going around, but nothing's confirmed at the moment with that. So that could just be media lies, which wouldn't surprise me, but who knows. But it's a big game on the final day. They need to win Manchester City. Well, I mean, they don't need to win. It depends on the Arsenal result as well, but you would assume that Arsenal will win at home to Everton, so that means that Manchester City have to win, because a draw wouldn't be enough, because Arsenal would go top on goal difference. But how many times have Manchester City been in this position of needing to win on the final day at home? Yes, a lot more often than not they make it very hard to do such a thing of just win a football match. But of course we know it's not as easy as just winning a football match when there's so many circumstances around the game. But it should be really exciting. Of course, we'll keep up to date with all the other games around the grounds, especially the Arsenal one, as we'll need to know exactly how they're doing at home to Everton, who've got nothing to play for. At the moment, our focus is on the League Two playoff final, and it is Crawley who are leading through Danilo Orsi. What an inspired signing he's been on. He's been brought in from Grimsby. And at Grimsby last season, Danilo Orsi only scored 4 goals in all competitions. Now he's got 25. Brilliant record for Danilo Orsi. As of course, if I also hear any more team news of any kind for Manchester City or Arsenal, I'll bring that to you, as we are 2 hours away from kick-off in that one. But other commentaries that are coming up, of course, we've got Manchester City in a couple of hours, and then next week we've got the Europa League final, and the Europa League final is it's on Wednesday, isn't it, I think? 22nd? Yes, Wednesday. So we've got Atalanta Bayer Leverkusen on the Wednesday. And then on that weekend, on the Sunday, we are bringing another playoff final, the Championship, where Leeds take on Southampton. So we've got 2 commentaries next week. Atalanta Leverkusen on the Wednesday, and then Leeds Southampton on the Sunday. And then we could possibly have 2 more after that. I've not decided if I'm doing the games yet or not, but we could do the Conference League final between Olympiacos and Fiorentina, which would be on the Wednesday on the 29th of May. So we could do that game, and then I'm thinking about doing the Champions League final between Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid, but again, them 2 are not decided yet. But we won't have long of a break off the commentaries after the club season's finished, because obviously we've got the Euros as well that are coming up in less than a month's time now. How much do you think the ticket prices will rise for Stockport? Yeah, they've for Stockport, Scottish Cup. Yeah, they've gone up quite. No, I don't think they've gone up that much that I can remember. I don't think they've actually. I'm presuming they have gone up, but I can't remember last season's prices. I know this season's, but I can't remember last season's. I don't think it's that huge of a rise, if I remember rightly, but I could be wrong. Scottish Cup, Celtic and Rangers again. I know another Rangers Celtic Scottish Cup final. Celtic winning the league, didn't they? A bit of a poor end to the season by Rangers, which is surprising. But Celtic again winning the league. I mean, just for pride's sake, you feel like Rangers have got to come out and win that one, really. Because if Celtic win a double, that wouldn't be great. Because I know Rangers won the Scottish League Cup early on in the season. I do feel like that League Cup would be cancelled out if Celtic were to win the league and the cup. But yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. But here in the League 2 playoff final, second half will be getting back underway rather shortly, as we are 2 hours away from the kickoff between West Ham travelling to the Etihad for Manchester City. It's actually not the first time West Ham have played at the Etihad on the final day in a title decider. In the 2013-2014 season, Manchester City had to win against West Ham to beat Liverpool to the title. You might remember that iconic season when Steven Gerrard had that slip. And Manchester City won that comfortably. That's the one time City have won the league on the final day comfortably. They won 2-0. I remember Nasri scoring a goal for City. Who scored the other goal? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to Google it. I'm usually good at that. I know Nasri scored the first. Was it Zabaleta? Or was it Torre? Company. Vincent Company scored the second goal. I remember now. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, Nasri in the 39th minute, and then Vincent Kompany in the 49th, and City won the league. Yeah, not as dramatic as previous final days at the Etihad Stadium. It must be said. But can Crewe turn this around, or will it be Crawley's day, Crawley's season, as they want to try and get back to League One for the first time since the 2014-2015 season. Yeah, the last 9 seasons now they've been playing in League 2. This is their first playoff finish in those 9 seasons, which is impressive. The Crewe definitely need to up their game though, and I know it's difficult because they are struggling in form, and Crawley are in great form and just have really found their groove at the end of the season. But for Crewe, 3 wins in their last 14 games from this end of February to the end of April, the end of the season, it's just not good enough at all. They've lost 6 of their last 12 games. Started the season really well, Crewe, just one defeat from their first 11, winning 5 and drawing 5, and of course losing the other. And yeah, the highest they got in the league was third on the 24th of February, and then from the 24th of February they won 2 games after that, and of course slipped away from the automatic spots and just about kept themselves alive in the playoff positions. Just really dipped in form at the wrong time and the wrong moment, Crewe. But they were able to overcome Doncaster, who were the most informed team I think in the country, it seemed, alongside your likes of Manchester City and Arsenal in the Premier League. But Doncaster, the winning run they went on to get in the playoffs is something I don't think I've ever seen before. I think they won about 10, 11 games on the bounce. I think it was something like that, something absolutely crazy. And yeah, they were able. When I saw Doncaster win that first leg at Crewe 2-0, I thought that's game over that easily. They won't turn that around, but the fact they were able to does show that they can turn it around. There's no reason why Crewe can't come back this time. To cancel out that 2-goal deficit from the first leg in the playoff semi-final, Crewe had to score twice, and they did it in 16 minutes. Unbelievable. Demetriou scored in the 6th minute and then own goal in the 16th. I think, interestingly enough, for Crewe, which I found interesting anyway, they've been involved in 3 penalty shootouts this season now. They've won twice. They beat Sunderland on penalties in the League Cup first round, and they obviously beat Doncaster in that playoff semi-final second leg. The only penalty shootout they've lost was in the League Cup second round against Port Vale. When they missed 4 of their penalties, they lost 2-0 on pens, and they missed all of their 4 that they took. And Nevitt missed, Longer missed, Adebisi missed, and Taberner missed, all starting today. So they've definitely had mixed emotions with the penalty kicks, but I think it's a really good advantage for them to have. So the second half of this game will be underway now in a couple of minutes' time. Can Crawley hold on, or can Crewe come back? That's the big question. I'm a Man City hater. Haven't heard anything recently about their creative accounting problems. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the charges are there. You can't hide away from it. Of course, they have been put on Manchester City, but you can't comment about it until it's sorted. Of course, everyone can speculate what they think is going to happen, but at the end of the day, until the decision's been made on what the outcome is, if they're proven guilty on however many charges, or not guilty on all, whatever happens, we've just kind of got to wait for the outcome. People are so are so naive about it when they go, "Why is it taking so long?" It's 115 charges. That is a ridiculous amount to have to go through and deal with, and go through all the logistics of them. So, yeah, I think people just need to be a bit patient. I know it's not a great cloud to have hanging around the Premier League. A team in the league having so many charges against them where they could have broke many rules, but you don't want to get it wrong. I think that's the main thinker about it. You don't want to get any of the charges. You want to get it right. So I think that's the main thing that people need to realise about that whole situation. So, both sets of players are back out on the pitch. It's going to be Crewe to kick off, kicking left to right. Crawley right to left, both attacking towards their own support now for this second half. As it's Crewe to kick us off, going back to the captain, Demetriou. Big kick out towards the left-hand side here. Can it be headed on? It can be headed on, but out of play by Elliot Nevitt. And it'll be a throw in here in a right-back position for Crawley Town. this time we're back underway as well. As Crewe won the ball back almost, but Elliot Nevitt foul there on Dion Conroy, the captain. They thought it was a little bit soft, that foul. Conroy holding the face. Let's have a look here. Nevitt was closing him down. Conroy's tried to pass it. It's a slight shoulder in the face. Nothing major at all. Maybe it's caught his nose, which might be causing a bit of pain. I think it's a foul. Definitely caught him, but nothing. I can't imagine there being any blood or anything. Apologies there, just having to shut the door. So free kick, Conroy's back to his feet. Adai, the Crawley goalkeeper, sends this one long out to the left-hand side. Header won by Billington for Crewe, straight to Liam Kelly for Crawley. Jay Williams facing his own goal, pushing the back. Easy foul to give by the referee. 2 hands in the back there by Joel Taberner. It's going to be taken by Conroy. Wanted to take quickly, but opted against it. And they're going to go to the goalkeeper here of Corey Adai, just in front of the 18-yard box here, the number 1. Big kick out again. Always aiming to the left with his big kicks. It can't quite be controlled by Jeremy Kelly. Now Aaron Rowe on this near side. Back into Billington in the right back position. Lifts it down the line, beyond the halfway line. Put into the air there by Maguire. And it eventually comes out to this far side for Crawley with Gordon. Step overs, try and get away from Adebisi. Still in front of him, Adebisi. And he can get around him here, Gordon. Brilliant run. And it's a good cross as well in towards Orsi. Headed away by Demetriou. Headed down by Campbell. Can't quite find a teammate. Header away in the end by Taberner towards Tracy. Tackled by Maguire. Kept by Jeremy Kelly. And it's now Crawley still on the ball in the final third. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Gordon running at Adebisi. On the outside again. Crossing again. Deflects this time. And it'll be a corner for Crawley on that far side. Good defending in the end there by Rio Adebisi, whose contract does expire at the end of this season. So Crawley have got their taller players up there. The centre halves are up there. Lawrence Maguire in there, alongside Jay Williams and Clady Lolos, but they go short with the corner. And on the angle, the ball goes in by Gordon. Easy header by Billington. Straight back to Gordon on the halfway line, who will return it to the goalkeeper. No, it'll go to Jeremy Kelly. Furthest back for Crawley. Bringing the ball forward beyond the halfway line, out to the far side to Gordon. Jeremy Kelly's continued his run. He'll try and find him. Can't control it, though. Drops here for Adebisi. Now with Rowe on the left wing, who can turn forward here away from Lolos and beyond the challenger Gordon, and plays a pass towards Nevitt. It's just got away from Nevitt, who will chase it down, but he can't quite beat Lawrence Maguire to it. And Crawley are back in possession on the edge of the 18-yard box here. But like what we mentioned before, Crawley have only beaten Crewe 3 times in the head-to-head. They've met 20 times in the history. Crawley have won 3 times, had 5 draws, one in the last 12, which was in February 2023 as a 2-2 draw, and then Crewe have won 12, winning 9 of the last 11. But it's all starting to turn in Crawley's favour at the right time in terms of the head-to-head if they win today. Maguire throws it towards Campbell, can't quite bring it under control, one off him there by Turns, and out to the left to Long, who can beat Will Wright with pace, but his touch is a bit heavy, and Conroy comes across to deal with it, playing it back to his goalkeeper Adai, who clears it first time. It's a long ball out to the right wing position for Crawley. Header won though by Demetriou, brought down in the end by Taberner. Now Ed Turns at centre back for Crewe, lifting it forward towards Trace, heads it to Nevitt, heads it on again into a space where Maguire deals with it, but the flag was up anyway on a Crewe player, as we're just under 5 minutes in, still 1-0 Crawley. Crewe not really doing anything going forward, which needs to change if they want to try and equalise in this game. But very interestingly enough, Scott Lindsay, the Crawley manager, has never beaten Crewe in his managerial career, and Lee Bell the Crewe manager, has never lost in his managerial career against Crawley. So it's all going wrong. But in each of the 3 games that Lee Bellers took charge against Crawley, his team has scored in all 3. So they do usually score in this fixture. And today needs to be the day they need to do it most. Crawley on the ball, near side, final third, with Adam Campbell. Nearly everyone behind the ball here for Crewe now they are, as they go back to the halfway line to Conroy. Campbell goes back towards the goalkeeper and no one's there. Chris Long is one-on-one, goes around the goalkeeper who gets the touch, and that'll be a corner. The referee's given a penalty, but that will be overturned. The goalkeeper's booked. That will 100% be overturned. It's a shocking mistake there from Adam Campbell. And that's when, if a pattern of play doesn't materialise, if one player's out of position, a move can go wrong completely. Adam Campbell tried to play it to a centre-half who wasn't there. Adai was the closest to it. He backtracked. Oh, no way. I don't know if the keeper got a touch to it, but even if he didn't get a touch, that looks like a dive to me. One-on-one with the keeper. He tried to go around him. Got a touch to it. Clean as you like. How was the referee seeing that as a penalty? Seriously. He's got the ball first. And he's going to be told to have a look and obviously to overturn it. No way it'll be a penalty. Not a chance. Really good goalkeeping. And Adam Campbell has been let off the hook big time by his goalkeeper. Like I say, Campbell was on this near side, on the halfway line. He's tried to go back into his own half to find a player who was never there. And Adai's had to backtrack back towards his goal. And then as Chris Long was running at him, he started to come out a little bit more. And Chris Long tried to go on the left-hand side around the goalkeeper. But Adai was able to stick out a right foot and win the ball as cleanly as you like. And Chris Long dived anyway over his leg. That is shocking refereeing. That is awful. How on earth is he seeing that as a penalty? That's really bad. This will be overturned. It'll be a corner, I presume, for Crewe here. Yeah, no way that's a foul. Adai, the goalkeeper, wins the ball. The Crewe striker dives over his foot. And there'll be no penalty. Easy as you like. Shocking refereeing, but that's why VAR's here. To overturn decisions like that when the referees just get it so wrong. So, yellow card rescinded for the goalkeeper. So, no yellow card for Corey Adai. That's when VAR works. For stuff like that. But that was a gift from Crewe. And Chris Long has not been able to capitalise. He's not scored in the league, Chris Long, since New Year's Day against Bradford. And he should have scored there. A free one-on-one chance with the goalkeeper, but it's brilliant defensive work by the Crawley number 1, Corey Adai. It looks like we're going to restart with a drop ball. Not a corner. It's going to be a drop ball for the Crawley goalkeeper. Chris Long can't quite believe he's messed that one up, to be honest. As he enters the box, tries to go around the outside of the goalkeeper on the left-hand side. And it's just really good goalkeeping. I just don't understand how the referee's seen that as a foul in the first place. But Adam Campbell, the man who made the mistake to play Chris Long through, will be replaced there by number 10, Ronan Darcy. Scored in the first leg of the playoff semi-final against MK Dons and then assisted off the bench in the second leg. So Adam Campbell off. Got away with that one, Adam Campbell. Him and his manager, Scott Lindsay, are laughing about it now, but if Chris Long had took that chance, I do not believe they would have been laughing about it. But Crawley survive. And Crewe somehow did not take the opportunity. 10 minutes into the second half. It's still 1-0 Crawley. Ball down the left-hand side by Lawrence Maguire. Not going out of play here. It's been kept in by Aaron Rowe in a right-back position. It's now with Billington, who gets the ball forward to the halfway line. Header won by Conroy. Controlled by Jeremy Kelly. Into Liam Kelly. Then forward to Horsey. Can't quite find Darcy, the substitute, now forward by Crewe. Chris Long pushed in the back by Will Wright. And that'll be a free kick just inside the Crewe half for Crewe. Crewe haven't scored in 6 of their last 10 games. That's got to be worrying. As the camera cuts back to a ball just dribbling down the left-hand side. I'm presuming Crewe's just not been able to find a player. Throwing in a right-back position for Crawley. As I'm interested to know if that substitution was going to be made anyway, or if Scott Lindsay's made it because of that mistake from Adam Campbell, just giving it straight to Chris Long on a one-on-one. Will Wright, long throwing. Headed forward by Thomas for Crewe. Cleared though by Jay Williams. Controlling halfway by Billington. Now down the left-hand side. Can be kept in by Adebisi. He's been forced to go back here. Closing down by Darcy. Adebisi, it's a bouncing ball to the goalkeeper, Striek. Been closed down by Orsi. Striek trying to move it away from him, and he just about gets rid. Foul there on him anyway. Striek almost tackled by Orsi, and if he won that ball fairly, Orsi, it was an open goal for him. Just about kept it away from him there, the goalkeeper. That is rather fortunate. As now it's a Crawley free kick instead. Adebisi, about 5 yards inside the Crawley half, just pulling down Kellen Gordon. It's been taken quickly by Will Wright, finding the middle centre-back of Conroy. Now to the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box of Adai. Going forward with the ball, getting away from Nevitt. And kicking it down the left-hand side towards Jeremy Kelly. Controlled though by Aaron Rowe. And then back it goes here to the goalkeeper of Striek. It does look like Crewe've changed shape here. I think they've gone to a 3 at the back. With Aaron Rowe as a right wing-back here. Ball forward, headed on by Tracy. Held up by Nevitt. Thomas to Tracy again. Running down the right-hand side. Turning away from Jeremy Kelly. And then all the way back into their own half here to Demetriou. And for the Crewe captain, he has had a horrid time here at Wembley. He's lost 2 League 2 playoff finals with Newport. He lost in 2019 and 2021. He did say that one in 2021 was actually more difficult than the one in 2019 to take and get over. Ended up leaving Newport in the summer to join Crewe for this season, now at the age of 34. This is his 370th League 2 appearance of his career. He scored loads of goals from centre-back this season. He scored 8 in the normal season, then scored as well in the playoff semi-final second leg. So he's on 10 for the season. And the last game that Mickey Demetriou missed for Crewe was back on the 21st of November against Newcastle's under-21s in the EFL Trophy. As Adebisi there. Just a late challenge on Gordon again. And it's been yellow carded. Play was allowed to continue though. And Crawley eventually won a corner here. But Adebisi in the book. So Will Wright again with the corner, but he will go short here to Liam Kelly, who might have to swing this in first time here. He lays it off for Liam Kelly, who's able to get it beyond 2 Crewe players and into the box. Jay Williams wins the header, but not towards goal there, where Kellen Gordon controls it, and he gets the shot towards goal. It's parried by the goalkeeper, and Low Loss can't quite control it. Cleared eventually by Tracy to the halfway line here to Jeremy Kelly for Crawley, and all the way back to the goalkeeper. Not an half bad chance there for Kellen Gordon. He's only scored once this season, and that was in a 4-1 away win at Mansfield at the start of April. There's Lawrence Maguire. Tries to head the ball forward, but cleared by Demetriou. Against the halfway line to Jeremy Kelly. Touch into the centre circle now. And he finds a pass to the right side here to Ronan Darcy. Now forward to Kellen Gordon. In the final third, he's going to go for an early cross in towards Orsi, but instead drops to Low Loss, who allows Orsi to take over, but he's tackled. But straight to Will Wright. And Crawley can continue to attack. Gordon wanting to take on Adebisi, and he will take him on and cross it into the box, but it's an easy catch for the goalkeeper of Striek. Kellen Gordon there, as he had that shot towards goal, he did use a hand to control, wasn't seen. Maybe if his shot ended up in the back of the net, then possibly it could have been disallowed by VAR. As Crewe try and go long, and they've picked it back up here. Bad pass by Liam Kelly, won back by Aaron Rowe. It's now on the halfway line for Crewe on this left-hand side with turns. Forward to Taberner. He's got Jay Williams trying to tackle him, and Taberner overruns that. And it'll be a throw in here for Crawley. It's just not quite happening for Crewe going forward. They're struggling a lot. Do apologise about that. We are back, and Gordon is racing down the right-hand side for Crawley, but tackled well by Adebisi. And he had to get that right, the Crewe left back, because he is on a yellow card now. And Kellen Gordon at right wing back, he's looking really good for Crawley. A real threat at the moment. Constantly getting those crosses in. Throw-in taken. It's now Darcy for Crawley. Everyone behind the ball for Crewe. They definitely don't want to go 2 down. That is for sure. A second goal for Crawley might end this. As Crawley have gone back to the goalkeeper, a die. 15 yards away from the halfway line. That's how far forward he was. A ball out to the left. It's controlled by Maguire. Being closed down by Aaron Rowe, but he can work it here to Jeremy Kelly, who just slows down with the ball at his feet. Dion Conroy lifts it to the far side now towards Gordon, who can touch it down for Ronan Darcy. It's all a bit too easy, this, for Crawley at the moment. Crewe can't match their level. It's on the far side with Gordon. Back into Darcy, the number 10. Quick 1-2 with Liam Kelly. It's now with Jay Williams. Out to the right to Liam Kelly. Forward for Gordon, round the corner for Darcy. Flag stays down for now, but there's a foul off the ball there by Gordon on Adebisi, and Crewe trying to take it long. Thomas to the left wing here to Chris Long, just beyond the halfway line. 1-on-1 with Will Wright. He's been forced to go back here to Thomas, who's had a shove in the back as he clears it, but nothing given by the referee. Won back really well for Crewe, then lost again through the tackle by Dion Conroy, but his ball forward can't find Orsi. Dealt with by Dimitriou. It's now being brought forward here by Billington. To the left to Thomas. Can't go forward to Nevitt. Cut out by Wright. It's now Dimitriou to the far side here. Crewe can try again here. Adebisi running 1-on-1 with Gordon. And he's able to work a cross in. It's overhit. Massively overhit. Straight out for a goal kick. And you know when you just get the vibe and the feeling it's just not a team's day. That's exactly what I'm getting here for Crewe. Just nothing's working. They've not looked dangerous at all today at any point in the game. You know, they had that 10-minute spell before Crawley scored where they were starting to get shots on goal. That doesn't mean they were playing that well. They were just actually looking like they could maybe do something to this Crawley defence. But they're going to make a double change here, Crewe, with about 26 minutes to play. Shiloh Tracy, the right winger, is going to be coming off. And he's going to be replaced by the number 9, Courtney Baker-Richardson, who's on 9 goals for the season in the league. His last was on the 13th of January against Swindon. And the number 8, Connor Thomas, will be replaced here by number 25, Josh Osterfield, on loan from Huddersfield, brought in January. He's played 3 times in the Championship for Huddersfield before the loan spell here now with Crewe. Scored twice. Josh Osterfield, both away from home against Stockport County and Notts County in 3-1 away wins. And we're also going to get Crawley changes here as well, I believe, or maybe just the one change. So Kellen Gordon is going to be the one coming off here for Adeyemo. He's a right winger, but I'm presuming he'll just have to play here at right wing back, number 22. Brought in the summer from Crewe Valley, which is absolutely incredible. Really brought in from the lower leagues of English football. This is his first ever EFL club for Adeyemo, as he can play right wing back, also as a number 10, so very versatile, the number 22. So 25 to play. Crawley still 1-0 up here at Wembley. Crewe struggling to really deal with the Crawley style of play. So good when they're in possession of the ball. In the left wing now with Jeremy Kelly. 1-on-1 with Aaron Rowe. Lawrence Maguire's overlapping him. Jeremy Kelly will drive inside. Plays the ball back though to Jay Williams and gets it returned to him. It's now Jeremy Kelly again on the ball. Wants the 1-2 with Lolos and he'll make it work. Then tripped by Tabernet. Free kick on the left hand side here for Crawley Town. And it's going to be a yellow card here for Joel Tabernet. Yeah, obvious trip and a pull on Jeremy Kelly. So it looks like it's more than likely going to be a delivery here from Liam Kelly, but Ronan Darcy is also stood over the ball. False start from the first try. Liam Kelly will then put the ball into the box. Header won by Dimitriou, still alive on the edge of the area. Adeyemo with the ball, and with the left foot he's going to strike it, and it's going to go well over the crossbar. Early shot there from the substitute. Adeyemo, just 25 years of age. Was a late sub in the first leg against MK Dons, didn't come on in the second leg. It's throwing on the far side for Crewe in their own half with Adebisi. Taking his time with this, not really anyone to aim for. Throws it down the line towards Baker Richardson, who can flick on, but no one in the red shirt chasing it. Cleared by Conroy. Dealt with by Turns. Touch isn't great, but he can tackle Adeyemo. It's now with Ed Turns at centre-back. Across to Dimitriou. Now back to the goalkeeper of Striek. Big kick forward beyond the halfway line out to the left-hand side. Header won, though, by Will Wright for Crawley. Straight back to Crewe with Dimitriou. Out to the left of Tabernet. It will keep the ball in play, just about. Osterfield keeping it, going back to Ed Turns. Big kick forward, up towards Baker Richardson. He will chase it down. Adeyemo's there for Crawley, lifts it over his head. And it's chested down by Will Wright, and then lifted back through for Adeyemo, who can get beyond one Crewe player. It's now Jay Williams, who tries to go back, but no one's there. Baker Richardson, can he keep it in? He will decide to keep it in, and he'll cross it low to the near post, dealt with in the 6-yard box by Conroy. It might have been worthwhile there, Courtney Baker Richardson, just letting that go out for a corner. Because there wasn't many in the box. Again, just shows if someone is in the right position for Crawley, that one bad pass can really lead to huge errors and big chances conceded, but they were able to defend that one this time. They are going to throw this one long through Dimitriou. In it goes, flicked on by a Crawley Town player, then poked away only as far as the edge of the box. It's now with Aaron Rowe. Crossing low, it's a shocking cross, dealt with by Crawley, and they play down the left side. Can't quite be found there by Danilo Orsi. Osterfield tackled too easily by Orsi, and the break's on. Liam Kelly on the left-hand side. He's got Orsi to his left, Darcy to his right. Kelly will go on his own for now, then plays it to the right to Darcy. In the box, strikes it, and it's a good block by Dimitriou. Unfortunate there from the substitute Ronan Darcy, who's already scored once this season against Crewe. In the 4-2 defeat back in October. Liam Kelly that time bringing the ball forward. A loss of possession by Josh Osterfield for Crewe. So another delivery with 20 minutes to play. Still 1-0 to Crawley at Wembley. For a chance to get back into League One. Outswinging delivery goes in. Header won at the near post by Baker Richardson. He'll fall to Jeremy Kelly. He'll just put the ball out in the box again. It drops to the edge to Jay Williams. Heads it out wide left to Liam Kelly. Back it goes into Jeremy Kelly. It's now Liam Kelly again on the left wing. Goes inside to Jay Williams. Now Kelly again. Crossing towards the centre circle here with Will Wright, who's got space to bring it forward and lifts it down the right-hand side in the box to Low Loss. Flag stays down for now. Low Loss has it. Goes back here into Adeyemo. Now the edge of the area to Jeremy Kelly. Back through for Adeyemo, just taken off him through a touch by Adebisi and cleared for Crewe. Along as far as Will Wright. Crawley will go again. Just the 1-goal lead though, and that can change. That can be taken away very quickly. There's Ronan Darcy. Across here to Low Loss, edge of the box. Can't find space for his shot, so just keeps it moving on once more to the left to Maguire. Now Darcy. Maguire, 25 yards from goal. Edge of the box to Low Loss. Fleets it through for Darcy, who goes first time to the far corner, but miscues it and goes wide and high. Not a bad idea. Good football there between Low Loss and Darcy. Finding those spaces in the box. Crewe just can't handle it. They can't read it. They can't stop it. And I think they're rather fortunate that Crawley have only scored once today. So with about 18 and a half minutes to play, we're going to have another drinks break here at Wembley on this rather warm May day down in London. To be fair, early on in this second half, Crewe did have a penalty. Adam Campbell gave it away and pretty much it was quite a good through ball actually to Chris Long, who went one-on-one with a goal. He tried to go round him and the referee somehow, I don't know how, he gave a penalty. It was never ever a penalty. And he was able to go to VAR, check the monitor, and he overturned his decision. That was in the 52nd minute. But like I say, he'll go down as a penalty overturned. But it was just never, ever, ever a penalty. So, a few drinks here and a few tactical messages, and we're going to get the end of this League Two final. Playoff final at Wembley. Crawley still lead by a goal to nil. Danilo Orsi with the goal in the 41st minute, scoring his 25th of the campaign. Crewe need to start doing something different because they are struggling. They've struggled all game. Crewe, they're going to make another change though. Chris Long, the man who went down for the penalty, the former Everton man and Burnley player, will be replaced here by number 30, Charlie Kirk, who was brought in the February as a free agent after being released in the December by Charlton. Second spell at Crewe for Charlie Kirk, who came through the academy. And they're going to make another change here as well, Crewe. Number 11, Joel Taberner, the central midfielder, who was on a booking, will be coming off for number 14, Lewis Lee, on loan from Preston, brought in January. Spent the first half of the season, Lewis Lee, on loan at Bromley in the National League, and then moved on to Crewe in the January. But I don't think what helped Crewe was they had central midfielder Joe White on loan from Newcastle till January, and then he was recalled by Newcastle, and I think that definitely had an effect on their form. I know, you're not a one-man team, but losing a midfielder like him was big because Joe White ended up having some substitute appearances in the Premier League for Newcastle. If you can hear that noise, I do apologise. There is nothing I can do about it. So we're back underway here, 15 to play. Foul there by Baker Richardson on Lawrence Maguire. So that's going to be a free kick for Crawley at left centre half. Midway inside their own half here. They've made their changes. That is for sure. Crewe, they've rolled the dice. Just need to try and get these changes working if possible. Big kick forward from the free kick. It's going to go straight out of play for a goal kick though. Not the greatest of balls forward. They were aiming for Low Loss, but straight through for a goal kick. As Crawley on their first ever trip as a club to Wembley. They are winning to try and get back to League One. It's with the goalkeeper for Crewe, and that is Strick. Big kick forward, beyond the halfway line, down the right side, flicked on by Baker Richardson, chased down by Nevitt. Played out of touch there by Conroy. Yes, it was, just out of play. So throw in on the near side here for Crewe. Maguire just down at the moment. Might be a bit of gamesmanship here, just trying to kill a bit of the Crewe momentum as they've got a throw in here, which they'll be able to launch into the box here through Demetriou. They can still throw it long. It's a bit further away than usual, but yeah, Demetriou's just going to throw it long, I think. He'll go towards the near post here. I don't think he'll be able to get it any further. Quite the long throw from Demetriou, and in it goes to that near post was Baker Richardson. Header won, and then cleared though by Jeremy Kelly for Crawley. Back towards Demetriou, who will let it bounce out here for a throw-in. He'll take it quickly, throwing it to the goalkeeper of Strick. As they restart here in their own half, Crewe. Sending the ball forward. It's a high ball. It's a big ball. It's up towards Baker Richardson. Loses out to Maguire. Helped on by Darcy. And it drops straight to Lolos beyond the halfway line now. He's got Liam Kelly to his left. Lolos needs to try and release it. Keeps it away from multiple Crewe players. But then runs into one. Through Osterfield. But then given away by Lee. So now Darcy wants to release it to the right. And he'll go backwards here to Will Wright. And now inside to the left here to Jay Williams. Lolos to this near side now to Jeremy Kelly, running one-on-one here with Aaron Rowe. Kelly on the outside towards the byline, needs to cross it. He keeps it in and puts the cross into the far post. No one's there to really attack it. It will be kept alive by Darcy on the far side. He's got Kirk for company. It's now Liam Kelly turns away from one. That's brilliant. Liam Kelly will strike it. And it's palmed away by the goalkeeper, aiming towards the top right corner at the near post. Well saved by the Polish goalkeeper, formerly of Sunderland. Such a good turn though by Liam Kelly, and just tried to hit a thunderbolt into the top right corner, but it was well met by the goalkeeper of Strick at the near post. You'd expect him to save that one, but there was power on it in fairness. Out-swinging cross again from the corner. Header won by Baker Richardson, controlled by Aaron Rowe. And can Crewe counter? They need to do something here. Rowe bringing it out towards the left-hand side. Not got many up there with him. Tries to get it out to the right, but it's intercepted by Conroy. And it's now with Lolos running towards goal here. Into the box. Lolos on his left foot. Will go back here to Lawrence Maguire. Cuts it back for Liam Kelly in the area. Wriggling his way through. They go back to Maguire, who crosses off Aaron Rowe, and that'll be a corner on the near side this time for Crawley. They're managing this game really well. Even though they're winning, they're still dominating the game, not allowing Crewe any time on the ball. They're not sitting back on what they've got. They're just playing their usual game. So it's going to be an in-swinger this time from Will Wright, the centre-back. Straight in there to the near post. Hooked away by Lee. And headed on here by Kirk for Crewe. Up towards Osterfield, who will not beat the ball. Who will not beat Jeremy Kelly to the ball. And put forward by Adeyemo. But he was caught as he played the ball forward. And that'll be a free kick for Crawley. Midway inside the Crewe half with 10 to play. I think the free kick was given away there by the captain, Mickey Demetriou, who has spent the majority of his career in League Two and the National League. Scored 4 times against Crawley in his career, all in his first 3 games against them from 2016 to 2018. Just one single League One appearance for Shrewsbury against Millwall back in April 2016. It looks like he might be losing a 3rd League Two playoff final in a row as the ball's put into the box. Header won by Baker Richardson, put back in by Lawrence Maguire. Will it drop to a Crawley shirt? Orsi will strike it. It's tipped over the bar. But the whistle was blown before he had the shot. Was it a little foul there? I think it was an offside, in fact, on Horsey as it dropped towards the striker, who's now on 25 goals for the season in all competitions. Crewe, another change. Feels like these changes just aren't working though. Number 28 will be coming off. Lewis Billington for number 17. Matus Holicek, the Slovakian, been at the club now since 2016. Has one under-19s Slovakian appearance. Came back in October 2023, just at the age of 19. Turned 19 in the January just gone. So they've got less than 10 minutes of the 90, plus added on time to try and make something happen here, Crewe. They've not really made anything happen all game. They do have the ball here. At the back with Dimitriou, the captain, goes to the left here to Adebisi. He's going to go for a long ball forward here. Looking for Baker Richardson, headed down by Conroy to Williams, then to the right here to Will Wright, who can skip beyond Holicek. Now Adeyemo tries to go inside, but tackled by Lee. Still with Adeyemo, who is surrounded by red shirts, and he's eventually dispossessed again. Kirk. Back it goes here to Adebisi in the Crewe half. Forward down the left to Holicek, turns into traffic, and Adeyemo wins it back for Crawley. Cleared forward by Will Wright. Up towards Horsey. Lost that, loses out to Dimitriou, and it'll be a free kick for an offside anyway on Horsey. It's taken quickly to the right here to the number 12 for Crewe. Ed turns. Lee easily turns away from Lolos. Tries to play out to the left, but it deflects to the right, but it works for Crewe. Ed turns now. Just goes behind Rowe, but he's got it now in the final third. In a right wing position. Onto his left foot. Rowe will go for a shot towards goal. Cannons off the head of Lawrence Maguire. And it will bounce out for a throw-in in the final third here for Crewe, who do have that long throw through Mickey Dimitriou. And it's a shame he's the only one with a long throw, because at the end of the day, Dimitriou scored 8 goals this season in the league from centre-back. You know, not all of them would have come from open play. A lot of them would have come from set pieces. It seems like he is the only one with that long throw. So Dimitriou throws it into the box again, headed away to the edge of the area here, where they try and work it back out to the right, and they do to Dimitriou. Plays it down the line, looking for Rowe, but deflects off Jeremy Kelly, and it's going to be another long throw for Dimitriou, in pretty much the same position as the last one. Throws it into Rowe, who then returns it to Dimitriou. Bit of time here, and goes across to the edge of the box here. Osterfield on once more. Put in by Kirk to the far post, or Dimitriou heads it across, and it's saved by Adai. Angle was tight there on Dimitriou, but he's worked the save from the goalkeeper. Not the greatest of ball by Kirk, a little bit overhit. Like I say, the angle was tight, and it's straight at the goalkeeper, who covered the angle well at the near post. We've spoke about how Dimitriou's been a threat this season for Crewe, from centre-back, scoring 10 goals in all competitions. At that time, you know, I think any player would have struggled to get that one in with the angle it was at. Striek for Crewe, big kick forward up towards Baker Richardson, can't flick it on, controlled with a chest by Will Wright, and then forward it goes here to Ronan Darcy. He's got options to his left there, but he'll continue running down the line himself. Wants to try and go back, goes through the legs of Holicek, and he finds Adeyemo. Now into the midfield to Jay Williams. Now Lolos. Williams back to the halfway line. He goes now here to Conroy, who will take a heavy touch forward, but skips away from one challenge, then plays it through here for Liam Kelly. Ortiz free in the box. Kelly will look for him, tackled by Dimitriou, and it drops back to Liam Kelly, who into an open goal to make it 2-0. And surely Crawley are up into League One again. They have been nothing short of perfect today. They very much deserve this playoff final victory. They won 8-1 in the semi-final on aggregate against MK Dons, and today they have been unbelievable. Crewe have been played off the park, and the man who has stepped up the most, you could say, in these playoffs has been Liam Kelly in that centre of midfield. He's been unbelievable, linking it all together, and he scores at Wembley. And in Crawley's first ever game here at this stadium in their 128-year history, it looks like they're going to win to get promotion into League One. It was brought forward by Conroy, and then he slipped it through for Liam Kelly. He wanted to square it to Horsey. Dimitriou intercepted it, but as Dimitriou intercepted it, it bounced straight back to Liam Kelly. Striek went out of his goal to try and block the cut back, but Dimitriou did it for him, but Striek had already gone, and Kelly just had the shot towards goal. He was just about able to get it in at that near post. It almost hit the post, but Liam Kelly scores again. It's his second goal in this playoff campaign. He scored in the first leg of the semi-final. He also assisted in both of those legs, and now he's scoring again after assisting the first goal today. What a signing he's been. Brought in from relegated Rochdale last season from League 2 down to the National League. And it looks like it's all over for Crewe, who have just been outplayed. It's as simple as that. Crawley have been outstanding, and it looks like under Scott Lindsay they're going to find themselves in League One for next season. Of course, there's a slice of luck of how the goal came about. Dimitriou doing so well blocking the original cutback, because Horsey would have had a tap in. But as it deflected off Dimitriou, it just fell back into the path of Kelly, who had an open goal because Striek had gone out of his goal to try and block the cutback himself. And Crawley lead by 2. Liam Kelly with his 6th goal of the season. And it's probably the biggest he has ever scored in his career. Spent 3 years playing in the Championship, Liam Kelly, from 2016 to 2019, which isn't too long ago. Well, I mean, it is, isn't it, really? 5 years ago, that now. But at this level, Liam Kelly, now at the age of 28, has just shown that he's obviously superior to this level. He's got to be playing in League One, if not higher, Liam Kelly. I know he's relegated last season with Rochdale, but in the right team, with the right manager, with the right system, Liam Kelly is an unbelievable football player, the Irishman, and he's shown that today with a goal and an assist. And what's the feeling? And what's the fans of recent... What's the feeling? The Crewe fans are probably feeling very dejected because their team have been really... I don't want to say they've been bad. They haven't been good, obviously, because they've been beat. But Crawley have just been so good. I think any League 2 side today would have struggled against this Crawley team with the way they've been playing. And it's going to be another defeat for Crawley in a League 2 playoff final as Dimitriou crosses in towards the far post, headed won by Wright. And it's headed back by Holicek, straight to Horsey. Not great that by Holicek. And Crawley will try and get a third goal possibly with 2 minutes to play. Ronan Darcy kicking it off Osterfield. It's going to be a throw-in for Crawley. Crewe are 2-time playoff winners. Won the playoff final in League 1 in 1997. Won the League 2 playoff final in 2012. Just not meant to be today for Crewe. It must be said. This is the first time Crewe have been back at Wembley since April 2013 when they were in the EFL final, the EFL Trophy final against Southend. When they were able to win that day in front of 43,842 people. As the ball can't be kept in on that far side by Adeyemo. It's going to be a goal kick for Crewe with a minute of the 90 to play here. And it looks like they're going to make 2 changes. Crawley, at some point before the end of the game as Baker Richardson flicks on and helped on once more towards Dimitriou, but nowhere near him in the end, into the hands of the goalkeeper of Adai. And it looks like Dimitriou is going to fall to a third League 2 playoff final defeat within the space of 5 years. And Crawley are now going to make their changes soon as Adai kicks it forward, flicked on by Adeyemo towards Horsey, who can keep it in, but Adebisi's on his back, and Horsey tries to turn him, but he's well defended in the end there by Adebisi. And now Crewe can try and get it forward. Ed turns, bringing it forward here and playing it in front of him to Aaron Rowe. High ball forward now for Rowe. Down the right channel, can't quite find Nevitt. And he'll find Liam Kelly instead. Now Jeremy Kelly, dispossessed by Aaron Rowe, on loan from Huddersfield. Goes into the centre circle now with Lee. 10 minutes added on. What? Where have they got 10 minutes from? Ball goes in and caught by Adai. Cross from the left-hand side there by Charlie Kirk. And very confidently, Crawley Adai came to collect. So, 10 minutes added on it. Change is still not made for Crawley. There's obviously the ball is still in play. But for Crewe, it is a 6-hour round trip. So it's going to be a long, long drive home. And for Crawley, it's just a 3-hour round trip here to Wembley. As Crewe have it in their own half on this near side of Ed Turns. Ball down the line. Cleared by Lawrence Maguire. It's a big kick forward. It's going to be headed into the air by Osterfield. And Aaron Rowe can keep it away from Orsi and switch out to the left to Adebisi. So we played 1 minute of the 10 added on. Crewe need 2. And they've not really looked like scoring 1, in fairness, as Aaron Rowe launched it towards the edge of the box. It's thied in the air by Adeyemo for Crawley and then volleyed by Williams. All the way back to the halfway line here to Osterfield for Crewe. Now to the left it goes now to Adebisi, just in front of the halfway line. Bringing it forward 10 further yards, then laying it off to Charlie Kirk. Inside to Lee. Then to Charlie Kirk again. Inside to Dimitri, who's trying to link up the play, and he links it up beautifully. Chance cross, so overhit. Curls out of play. Charlie Kirk, that is awful. In a big moment where you need to deliver an half-decent cross, it couldn't be further from it. Really good link-up play by Dimitri, who I do feel sorry for at the back for Crewe, the captain. Another playoff final defeat, it looks like it's going to be for him. As eventually, with 8 minutes left of this game to play, we're going to get 2 Crawley changes. Number 19, Jeremy Kelly, is going to be replaced by number 11, Jack Rolls, who scored off the bench against MK Dons in the semi-final second leg. And the second change will be Clady Lolos, will be replaced by number 25, Nick Sarula, former Cyprian under-21 international. As I think Lolos knows that it's almost Crawley's time for promotion. They haven't got long left to play. This will be Scott Lindsay's first real achievement as a manager. Now we've got 7 minutes of the 10 added on to play. As I'm also commentating on Manchester City West Ham in an hour's time. When this full-time whistle goes, I'm going to have to dart off pretty quickly to prepare for that game. Get me notes ready. There's Corey Adai. Big kick from the goal kick. Up towards Orsi. It just bounces away from him. Header away for Crewe. But as far as Liam Kelly, his touch isn't great, but it's kept alive by Rolls. Then Liam Kelly out to the left towards Sarula. Can't quite get it under control. Not too far away though. Just went under his foot. As Dion Conroy's gone in the book for Crawley. Not exactly sure why. As it is Ronan Darcy trying to play a ball through. Deflects off Osterfield. And Charlie Kirk can bring it away down the left-hand side for Crewe. Plenty of room to run into. Cuts onto his right foot and crosses into the 18-yard box. It's a header won, though, by Conroy. Headed back forward, though, for Crewe. Can they make anything happen here? Baker Richardson on the edge of the box, playing it through, but then kicked away by Wright. And looking for Demetriou. It's one back, though. Rolls losing out. Cross goes into the 18-yard box. It's header won by Williams, but drops to Kirk, who volleys. And again, doesn't catch it. Just bounces into the hands of a very thankful Corey Adai. And it looks like Crewe are going to have to spend a third successive season in League Two. Not what they wanted. It's what they're going to have to deal with for another season. Just the end of this season, they have just hit the worst form possible. They'd only won 2 of their last 10 games, and they hadn't scored in 6 of those 10. And again, they're not going to be. It looks like they're not going to score again today. As Orsi gives it away, looking for a ball in the box to Adeyemo. Into the gloves of Striak, who rolls it out to the edge of the box here to the number 17. of Mattis Holicek. And then a long ball forward out towards Baker Richardson. Nowhere near him in the end. Cleared by Adeyemo. And it's thrown on halfway here for Adebisi to take for Crewe. That's Charlie Kirk, tackled by Adeyemo. So throwing midway inside the Crawley half for Crewe on the far side, where it'll be taken by Adebisi. Another donation. Oh my, honestly, you don't need to. It's crazy. I'm very thankful. I'll be off to bed after this match for excitement. Thank you very much. I hope you did enjoy, and the support is absolutely crazy. I just can't thank you enough, as it's a shot from around 30 yards out from Ed Turns. Goes so far over the crossbar into the stands. He looks like he may have been caught as he struck the ball. Looks like he's hurt his knee. Let's have a look here. Turn shot. No, it's probably the way he landed there. His foot landed. May have just jarred it a little bit here, Ed Turns. Really struggling, the low knee from Brighton. As that one sailed over the crossbar. As we've got 3.5 to play here. Big kick from Adai. Headed into the sky by Adeyemo. It'll be headed on by Demetriou. And on once more by Nevitt. Can't find Baker Richardson, but deflects off Nevitt's head here. And Crewe can try and get one back, and then who knows what could happen next. Rowe crosses low. It's such a bad cross. Easily dealt with there. I think it was Conroy with the touch. And it's now with the number 12 of Ed Turns. Out to this far side to Adebisi. Charlie Kirk being forced away from goal by Adeyemo, but he can work across into the edge of the box. Had a one though by Maguire on Baker Richardson. Now Ed Turns in the central area, midway inside the Crawley half. Goes 5 yards to his left to Kirk, then out wide to Adebisi. He's got time to cross it if he wants to. He'll go on his right foot, and the cross goes in and into the gloves of the goalkeeper of Adai. If we're going to be completely honest, Crewe, realistically, have not looked to threat all day. The only main chance they had was given to them by Adam Campbell for Crawley, who played a bad pass backwards into what he thought was going to be a centre-back, but no centre-back was there. Played it straight through for Chris Long, who was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, tried to go around him, but Corey Adai made a brilliant tackle. The referee actually gave a penalty for that challenge from Adai, but he could not have won the ball any better, and then through a VAR check, it was cleared up for a no-penalty decision, as Horsey is shielding the ball in the corner flag, but the foul has gone against Crawley Town this time. They were trying to shield the ball there, foul within that, I don't know where. So, Crewe want to try and take it quickly with 90 seconds to play. So, it's right next to the corner flag, so it's going to have to be a big kick here from Strick, the goalkeeper. And up it goes. You can get it just beyond the halfway line, but header won by Maguire. I feel like they've won everything aerially today, Crawley. As Aaron Rowe just skipped beyond one Crawley player of rolls, and then he wants to get it out to the right-hand side. He will with Nevitt, who onto his right foot can cross it. It's a deep one. It's kept in by Baker Richardson, but straight to Adeyemo, who touches and just absolutely boots it away. Up towards Horsey, who's got it now in front of Adebisi. Lays it off here to Darcy. Runs around Adebisi. Horsey wants it on the inside. Darcy's going to go on his own for now. He's going to go towards the corner flag, I think. Kill this clock even more. We've got less than a minute to play. Darcy in the corner flag on the far side. Loses out in the end to Lewis Lee as it's kept in. He plays it to his right to Osterfield. Now to Aaron Rowe on the edge of the box. To the right-hand side. Just going to go long here up towards Baker Richardson. Can't win the header. Cleared by the left foot of Adeyemo. Played forward by Adebisi. Beyond the halfway line now. There's Crewe. Look like their time is up. Ball out to the left. Not kept in by Kirk. As there was an offside. He actually did keep it in, but he was offside. That is really poor. We have played the 10 minutes here. Crawley have surely done it. Just waiting for the referee's whistle of Bentona, and then the celebrations can really begin. Going to take this free kick from the offside, and I'm presuming the referee will blow his whistle. What a moment for Crawley to get back to League One. The free kick's taken long. Referee not got the whistle close to his mouth yet. Into the box it goes to Orsi. Holding it up here. Shielding the ball. Turning. Making his way through. Orsi shooting, and it's saved by Striuk, who quickly kicks it forward as we continue play here. It's a header backwards by Conroy straight to the goalkeeper. That's incredible. Baker Richardson will chase it. Adai will get his hands on the ball, and Crawley have conquered Wembley at the first time of asking. In the first time in their history they play at the home of English football, and they win in this League Two playoff final against Crewe. What an unbelievable performance by Scott Lindsay's Crawley Town, who just almost played the perfect game of football. Conceded very few chances, created lots of their own, and Crewe quite simply just could not handle that Crawley way of playing. Thoroughly deserved for Crawley Town and Scott Lindsay, who are promoted into League One via the playoffs. It'll be their first time back in League One since 2015. And for Crewe, it's a third season now in League Two for them, as they have to remain in the fourth tier of English football. Just could never quite get into the game, just due to the Crawley style of play of their dominating their possession. Their patterns of play just could not be dealt with at all. And as I said before, I feel like any team in League Two would have struggled today against that Crawley side. Like I say, there it is, very much an elation for Crawley against the complete dejection for Crewe. And it is Crawley Town back in League One. They were favourites to be relegated, Crawley Town, but under Scott Lindsay, who just about got them to survive last season. They were just a position outside the relegation zone last season, Crawley, and he's completely flipped it around, had a summer of his own where he was able to bring his own players in, and look what he's made happen here. Got them into the playoffs in 7th position, and he's got them promoted all the way through to League One. And in their 128-year history, Crawley, in their first game at Wembley, they have won it, and they are up, they are promoted. And a huge congratulations to Scott Lindsay and Crawley Town. Fantastic performance. Could not have deserved that more. Really, I've watched them twice now this season. It was in the second leg of the semi-final against MK Dons, and of course we've watched them there today in the final. And, you know, that is a really advanced way of playing football, but they've mastered it, and Crewe just could not get their head around it. They couldn't deal with it. It was too much for them in the end. And it is a victory for Crawley, which means they are promoted. And thank you to everyone who did join and watch this live stream. I hope you did like and subscribe. If you haven't already, please make sure you stay around on the channel, because in around 45 minutes time we'll be going live again, as we'll be covering the Manchester City game against West Ham at the Etihad Stadium on the final day of the Premier League. But here at Wembley, it's Crawley's time, it's Crawley's day. They are promoted. They beat Crewe at Wembley in their first ever game here at the home of English football, and here at Wembley for their promotion to League One. Crawley win, and it's finished here. Crawley 2, Crewe 0.